there, and welcome to this explainer. So, have you ever wondered what the ultimate high-stakes trade-off truly looks like? I mean, look, we all trade our time and our stress for money, right? Every single day. We commute, we work late, we sacrifice our weekends. But today, we're exploring a fascinating and honestly terrifying thought experiment that pushes this everyday compromise to the absolute extreme. It's a concept called the golden cage of the apex predator. Now, we're going to set a really fast, engaging pace right out of the gate here, mostly because this scenario demands it. It pushes the absolute boundaries of how we value money, safety, and, well, our own existence. So get ready, because this is going to be a wildly intense ride. Okay, let's just dive right into this. Would you take $100 million if it meant a hyper-intelligent predator was paid to hunt you for the rest of your life? I really want you to put yourself directly in the driver's seat of this intense hypothetical scenario. Imagine you're the one sitting there, staring down at this bizarre contract. You're the one holding the pen, hovering over the signature line, having to make the actual choice. It's the ultimate what if, balancing unimaginable generational wealth against inescapable, relentless danger. So, would you sign it? $100 million. Just let the sheer volume of that number sink in for a second. Really feel the weight of it. At first glance, this looks like absolute freedom, doesn't it? It sounds like way more than enough capital to buy an impenetrable fortress, hire a massive private army, and just completely disappear from the face of the earth to live out your days in total, uninterrupted comfort. Your mind immediately jumps to a life where absolutely any problem, any inconvenience at all, can just simply be bought away. It's the ultimate dream of ultimate security through ultimate wealth. Now, what's really interesting about this setup is that to truly weigh this choice, we have to clearly define the threat. What exactly are you up against here? Because this isn't some mindless monster out of a slasher movie. You aren't dealing with a wild animal driven by basic hunger or raw instinct that you can easily trick. No, you are dealing with an unmatched intellect. This is an entity possessing immense strategic patience, incredibly advanced problem-solving capabilities, and a singular, relentless, lifelong focus on ending your existence. It doesn't sleep, it doesn't get bored, and it never, ever gives up. Because the moment you sign that paper and accept the deal, everything you thought you knew about wealth completely flips. Your money instantly stops being a ticket to luxury and becomes nothing more than a survival budget. The whole fantasy of your newfound wealth is immediately stripped away. You aren't browsing glossy catalogs for private jets anymore. You aren't planning extended yacht vacations in the Mediterranean. You are literally budgeting for your next breath. Every single dollar you have is now just a highly depreciating tool meant to keep you alive for one more day. So let's talk logistics, the actual architecture of your new life. If you take this money, a normal life is permanently over. You couldn't just walk into a nice restaurant for dinner. You couldn't attend a crowded concert, and you definitely couldn't casually visit a public beach. The very second you take that cash, you are instantly entering a permanent state of high-security lockdown. You couldn't even order a pizza without running a full background check on the delivery driver. Every single decision, every movement, becomes this meticulously calculated logistical risk. And this immediate priority of physical isolation, it comes with a staggering, absolutely shocking price tag. Just to engineer a custom, subterranean safe house in a geographically remote area, you are going to spend a massive chunk of your wealth right out of the gate. We're talking easily $30 to $40 million. It's a pretty dark irony. You're spending nearly half your fortune just to create a starting line so you can even attempt to survive winning it. The wealth is literally vaporizing before you even have a chance to enjoy a single cent. Honestly, building that safe house is basically like planning the ultimate spy movie base. You're going to need a subterranean, geographically remote location that is completely off the grid. You require independent, closed-loop life support systems so you never have to rely on outside air. You've got to install custom water filtration because you can never, ever trust the outside supply. You need to stockpile years of shelf-stable food, and you must surround yourself with layers of automated perimeter defense networks. It sounds like an incredibly thrilling engineering challenge, right? Yet it's utterly terrifying when you realize that this is your everyday reality. Let's move to the next phase and see how this builds. Because spending your millions on concrete, steel, and advanced sensors, that is only step one. Now the real game begins. Let's look at the tactical breakdown of this hunt. This is where we examine the sheer tactical asymmetry between the defenses you can buy and the devastating counter-tactics the predator will patiently deploy against you. It's essentially a terrifying chess match where your opponent has infinite time to study all of your moves. So with your massive budget, you hire private military security, elite contractors guarding you 24/7. But the predator counters with supply chain infiltration, intercepting and poisoning your food, water, or air shipments before they even reach your facility. So naturally, you adapt. You install hyper-advanced surveillance like thermal cameras and drone arrays. The predator responds with environmental sabotage, cutting local power lines, jamming your frequencies, or quietly causing structural failures to literally force you out of hiding. You try to run, hiding under decoy identities and using shell corporations to buy properties under fake names. The predator simply uses pattern analysis, tracking the exact financial anomalies, large cargo shipments, and specific security hires required to maintain your hidden lifestyle. Every single multi-million-dollar defense you throw up is patiently, systematically neutralized. So the absolutely crucial point here is this. You have to be lucky every single second of every day. The predator only has to be smart once. Just sit with that chilling reality for a moment. This is the fundamental mechanic of the attrition factor. It really doesn't matter how rich you are. Human error is inevitable. And this is the exact moment where our thought experiment transitions from a high-stakes game of physical survival into an experience of pure, inescapable psychological dread. Because here's the thing, the true horror of this entire thought experiment isn't actually the physical threat waiting outside. The physical threat is just the catalyst. The real nightmare is the devastating psychological erosion happening inside your own mind. It is a suffocating psychological cage you have willingly locked yourself firmly inside of, trading your mental well-being for an abstract number in a bank account that you can barely even use. There's this deeply tragic irony playing out here. I mean, think about it. Money derives its value almost entirely from freedom. The ability to go where you want, buy what you want, experience the world, and make autonomous choices. But in this scenario, your immense wealth literally acts as the bars of a cell. The very thing that was supposed to set you free, the thing that usually grants unlimited access to the world, is the exact thing keeping you permanently imprisoned in a dark hole in the ground. The paranoia would just be absolutely crushing. Every single person you hire to protect you suddenly becomes a potential security leak or a liability vulnerable to bribery and coercion. Imagine lying awake at night. Every tiny mechanical noise echoing in the walls of your bunker triggers an absolute panic attack. Did the AC unit just hum differently? Was that a rat or was that a drone? If your compound lights flicker for even a microsecond, it causes sheer terror. Even a completely mundane delay in your daily supply deliveries spells impending doom. You can't trust anyone, and you can't even trust your own multi-million-dollar environment. And this brilliantly illustrates the final, incredibly claustrophobic reality of this entire scenario. You would spend the rest of your natural life completely paralyzed in a multi-million-dollar vault. You might be physically young, undeniably rich, and deeply comfortable sitting on imported designer furniture, but you would be utterly paralyzed. Paralyzed by the knowledge that outside those thick steel doors, an unmatched intelligence is calmly, quietly, and endlessly waiting for your first mistake. Which brings us to a final, pretty provocative thought to wrap up this explainer. If your wealth becomes your cage, are you actually rich? Think about the ultimate loss of freedom we've just unpacked today. If $100 million costs you the entire world, what is the real price of survival? And more importantly, taking a step back into your own real life right now, how much of your personal freedom, your peace of mind, and your time are you currently trading for a paycheck? I highly encourage you to take that unsettling question with you. Thank you so much for diving into this thought experiment with me.